Obviously excited about this weekend, getting going. We get going on Thursday. I think they're all tired of playing each other at this point in time. So it would be nice for us to rally and be able to play as one unit. So I'm excited.
How about let's break down positions. For example, will Omaya be first base and designated hitter? Who's at second? Who are your three outfielders and catcher? Could you go over those positions if you don't mind?
Yeah, absolutely. So on the infield, I think Maya and Mick are both going to rotate, dependent upon the game. And so I think that's going to be a rotation. At second base, you're going to have Talon Edwards. Shortstop, you're going to have KK. Third base is going to be KP. I would say that would be our, right now where we're at with things. Behind the plate, we're going to have probably a bit of a rotation with Maddie Sauni, and Dee Dee Baldwin. And then obviously we have a senior with Grayson. So I think, we're going to kind of ride that through. Outfield-wise, there's some competition going on, and I would say there's probably about 5 of them in the mix right now. So AK Ariel Kaluski, who we're happy to finally be able to play some softball here in maroon and white. Paisley Allen, transfer in from Georgia. We have Kelsey Mathis, who returns to us from last year. And then Frankie Vrazel and Scout Level. So I would say those are kind of our 5. I could see Haley Golden going in for a defensive replacement. She's somebody that can really track down balls. She's got good speed. So we got quite a few, I think, pieces that are in play. And it's going to be kind of, as the season goes on, how it develops and pulls together. If you hit, you play in my program.
Well, and Aggie, how about your batting order? Because last year, pretty early, your batting order kind of fell in place, and you had seeming power when you needed. You had speed. So how's your batting order shaping up?
Yeah, I think without giving away too much, sure. I think we're going to have a pretty balanced lineup. I think we're going to have some speed with some power at the top. We're going to have some power in the middle, and at the bottom, I think we're going to have some kids that can do both. Turn the lineup over. Think of like a Kramer Eshte that I thought did a great job of turning the lineup over, but could put a bunt down, has good speed. I think overall, top to bottom, we don't have any base cloggers, so I think we'll have the ability to put people in motion. And
so who's in the battle for that number 9 spot? Since you brought it up, Kramer was always pretty good, getting walks. So who is anybody ready?
For me, that is a critical position because I think you come up in a lot of innings of like 8-9-1 or 9-1-2, and so I want somebody that has really good bat to ball skills, somebody that pressure doesn't get to them, somebody that can have the ability to be able to bunt. So I think, you could see anywhere from Frankie being down there. Frankie can hit the ball over your head as well. So I think that piece is always, important to me. You could see Paisley Allen down there. I don't know, but we have some options. It's going to kind of depend on who that outfield spot, who's filling those spots that game, and what that would look like matchup-wise.
Pitching perspective, 5 games in 4 days. Is there a certain plan to attack that? And then as far as health, is just everyone good to go? Yes,
we were hit by the flu bug last week, so we are coming back from it. So that was nice. But I think pitching wise, you're going to see a lot of arms. You know that I'm typically somebody that throws kind of a staff at you. So I think you're going to see Taylor Pinnell, you're going to see Sydney Lessentine, Sydney Peters, you're going to see Kate Munnerlin, Grace Sparks. I think you're going to see Taylor Brown. There's going to be some opportunities, I think, this weekend that we're going to be able to kind of showcase what they have. I think it's going to be important for us as we get going and we get ready for conference season for us to have a good understanding of what each pitcher can do and what that looks like so that we are ready for conference play. So we might fiddle around with some things here early on.
And then as far as with #1 Tech, obviously coming into
Oh,
town,
yes. Yep.
those 3 games prior, just what are you kind of looking out of those games as a test sort of for Saturday?
Yeah, I think, for us, it's really about taking care of business. And what I mean by that is playing clean defense. I think that's going to be something that's pivotal for us this year. I really should say critical for us this year. I think having discipline in the batter's box. I think any sign of a good team is when you make it hard. So you make pitchers go deep into counts. You obviously take advantage of missed pitches and those opportunities. And then I think it's being efficient in the circle. I think those 3 things are going to be critical for us to be successful this year. So I want our pitchers to, pound the zone. They have good enough stuff to throw through the zone, be able to throw it off speed, but also get us out of innings. I think when you have, 5 batters an inning or 6 batters an inning, it just makes it long. So I think that'll be critical. But that defensive piece is going to be big for us.
Your tournaments, I know you like to play in those marquee ones, but when you put your schedule together, do you think about who you had coming back and whatever, and going to Texas State is kind of a little bit different. So talk a little bit about your schedule.
Yeah, I think I always try to schedule 2 home tournaments and 2 away. It looks like we're going to be good with weather this weekend. So after this coldness, we're going to be good. But for me, it's getting us comfortable on the road just because we have so many new kind of faces in different spots. I knew that was going to be critical. We lucked out that our bye weekend is that first weekend of conference play. So a lot of different conferences are still in their non-conference section. So we have a really good relationship with Texas State. So that was something that was easily drivable, high-level softball with a good facility. So our fans are going to be able to head out there. But obviously they have a really good talent pool that'll be good for us. I think we enjoy the hard. I enjoy the hard. So I want us, every tournament that we play somebody in the top 10. And I think that's going to be very, very critical for us as we go through, get ready for conference season. We have some tough road series. We're at LSU to open up, in conference play. We're at Texas, which is why we went to Texas this fall. Get that out of our system, be able to, know what that stadium is like and how that experience will be. So I think there's some of those pieces that we're always going to push for. Very, very hard non-conference schedule.
And getting Tech in, the fact is an early gauge. Do you want to do
Absolutely.
that every year and try to get somebody like that?
Absolutely. I think it's important because they're probably tired of practicing. Every coach will tell you they love to practice, right? But this will give us a good understanding of where we're at, where we need to improve on, and then, how we move forward. We play a lot of softball in the next month. We don't really have a lot of practice days. Yeah.
Because of all the softball you have, and just game after game, you just got to kind of move on to the next one. How do you treat this Tech matchup, knowing that it is a big game? If you're not even in conference play, you're just starting the season.
Yep.
How do you approach?
I think just like C said, like a gauge. We're going to go after them. We're going to go after everybody that we play. But it's going to be can we execute these sequences pitching wise? Can we execute being able to lay off X pitch? Are we, what do we look like on change-ups? What do we look like, on balls in the 3-4 hole? Where are we susceptible to being attacked? And then how do we address that? So I think the Tech game is what the fans will make out of it. For us, it's really a diagnosis of where we're at and what we have to do moving forward. We play a Tech every weekend in conference, I feel like.
So, speaking of the fans, it's kind of, you have that marquee matchup. It's almost a prelude. You also have a big men's basketball game that night. Just kind of the weekend in Aggie land. How exciting is that to start your season like that?
Well, and I think I was just texting Coach Weaver last night. He just landed the #2 recruiting class, I believe, right, in tennis. So we have buckyball going on, I think this is what's so great about Texas A&M is you can literally come to campus and watch a top, 25 program in a multitude of sports. And so I think we made some adjustments so that fans could be able to come and watch the Tech game and then also be able to go over and watch basketball, which I thought was huge and took a lot of adjusting and just cooperation from everybody here, logistically, which everybody was great about. But I think the other thing is we don't look at tech only this weekend. Like Utah State, if we remember last year, like they gave us a run for our money. It was a very close game. They were up by 3 or 4 runs at some point during that game. So like everybody has us as their person they're coming after this weekend. So we have to be ready. We have to be ready to sustain the punches and be able to punch back. So I think Utah State's going to be scrappy. ACU, it was a 1-0 game last year. Like I watched all of these things, until 2 o'clock in the morning last night. So, in Providence, they have some arms that just are very different and spinny and slow, and we don't see that a whole lot. So there's some pieces this weekend that could be tricky, and all of this is good for us. And I think that's how I go into the first weekend, is really like, where are we at? What gives us problems? Why does it give us problem? And how do we address it? Yeah.
You kind of mentioned talking a little bit about Mark and this team. We hear a lot more now from all the coaches that they're talking to each other and communicating. What is it about these stabs as they are right now that it seems like everybody is such good buddies, and where did that kind of come from, you think?
Well, I think it begins and ends at the top. And so I think Trev is that way. I think he encourages it. And then I also think it starts with your football coach. Like if you have a football coach that kind of hibernates and doesn't go out, I have a funny story for you guys. So we went and threw out shirts at the basketball game. Was that last weekend? It was like frigid. So we're walking out, a couple of me, Morgan, our director of ops, and about 5 of our girls, and Coach Elko drives in, and they fangirled him. And I was like, what is going on right now? And I'm like, Coach Elko, how come they don't get that excited when they see me? He goes, my guys don't get that excited either. But he took the time to like talk to him, say hello. That man has a cajillion things on his plate. He's showing up to a men's basketball game. Him and I chatted briefly. So I think we're just normal people. I think that's what's so great about Texas A&M is there's no egos. We just want to do really well. We want to work our tails off, and we want to put a good product on the field, on our court, whatever it is, for the 12th man, because we feel like they deserve it. So I think that's really where it starts. Yeah.
I know we talked to you after the last game last year. Sydney, it's been a while since we talked to you. When you look back at your freshman year, what went right, what went wrong, what do you and the team take from that last year moving forward?
Yeah, there was a lot of good things, a lot of bad things, ups and downs, but I think we have a lot to learn from and to grow from. So at the end of the day, it's always good to grow.
What did you take good? What's the main positives you took from your freshman year last year?
I mean, I had a no-hitter. I set some records, so I thought that was pretty cool. I got a pitch with Emily Kennedy on the circle with her and learned some things from her, so a lot of learning.
What do you feel is going to be better about you this year? What are we going to see different from you?
I think I'm taking on more of a leadership role, and I'm more confident in the circle. So.
KP, as for the offense, just can you kind of talk about some of the depth they have? I know Ford mentioned there's a lot of different options in the outfield, but as far as the lineup goes, just what that could look like.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of speed this year, so I think we're going to be able to move around the bases faster and manufacture more of runs. We always have our power with Maya, with Mick coming in. So yeah, I think we have a lot of people that can do a lot of different things, which is one thing that's going to make this team special this year.
Sydney, Coach mentioned you as the kind of the next in the circle. What does it mean for you to kind of have the pitching staff on your shoulders, or be the ace or the first person out there and fill in the shoes of the ones who went before you last year?
Yeah, so our saying this year is one circle, one standard. So we're all pitching staff together. We're all in it together. We're going to work together to beat teams. So I'm just excited to see how we all come together.
What have you seen from Taylor Pinnell since she's been here?
Oh, she's interesting. I know everyone hates that changeup. So
Yeah.
I think she's a completely different look than what we have in the circle. So something new, something unique.
Yeah, you kind of touched on it. What do you feel like an identity or a strength early on in the season is going to be for this offense?
I think one of our strengths is that we're fast. Like you said, I kind of touched on it earlier. I think we are really athletic, so that's going to be a change from the past couple of years. We've always been athletic, but I feel like we have a lot more athleticism and speed, so I think that's one of the things that's going to be part of our identity this year. And we have a lot of fight, so I think that's going to be another part of our identity this year.
What do you guys think of Texas Tech opening weekend, just a matchup like that so early on in the season? I mean, does that get you excited?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talk about it all the time in the locker room. We're like, man, we got Tech on Saturday. Like, that's crazy, like, to open up season. I mean, we are excited to play. We're excited to not be playing each other. So I think that's one of the big things. And, I mean, it's so much fun to be a part of such a big matchup like that everyone's been looking forward to. So I think, you know, we're ready and we're excited to play.
How much does the way last year ended fuel you going into this season?
I got it. It fuels us a lot, especially the people that were here, the returners. I think we've also had to understand and realize that was last year. It happened, and we don't forget about it, but we also understand that this is a new team, this is a new year, so we have to create a new identity for ourselves. We have to create a new standard for ourselves, and it happened, but it was last year. We're starting a new year, and that's what we're looking forward to.
That being said, do you have a theme or a statement? She mentioned what the pitching is as far as, do you ladies as a whole team have a motto or a theme when you in the locker room talking to each other? It's like whatever.
Yes, sir, we do.
Okay.
The theme for our team this year is never out of the fight. So no matter where we are in the game, if we're up, if we're down, we're never out of it. We're just going to continue to push on more runs and continue to play our game.
Did anyone in particular come up with that saying, or just it's a way to evolve?
It was really a team effort. It took us about an hour. Yeah, it was a team effort, though. Everyone, you know, had a say-so in it, along with Coach Ford. So that's our team motto this year.